Hi, it's Melissa. Welcome to Messy Missy Creates. I am in my January journal and I'm going to flip over to my junk journal January section. And we're going to do, actually we're going to do pages 3 and 4, I believe. That's my goal. It's 1 and 2. Oop. Stuck together. I had already started to do something on this page and then I stopped. Had a different idea. So if you watched any of my other videos, I had already started on the first few prompts, and I did this for the stained instead of, and I wasn't thinking about, day 4 was a decorated tag, but I had done this on some stained paper, just stained book page. Anyway, so I just want to, I had decided to go back and redo, as I said in my last journal, or last video, I'm sorry. I had decided to go back and give them their own pages instead of incorporating them into my daily. I might do that as well, but I was enjoying the collaging so much that I decided to go back and give them their own. I had already made that tag for Starry, so it was movable, so I moved it over to this page. And you know, though that inspired me to do something, it didn't, I had already, I was testing out a stencil and I don't know. Anyway, so that's that page. But day 3 and day 4, I really, really spoke to me on a different level, and I just wanted to share that. Anyway, so I'm still using this on my day 3 stained, but I'm just going to embellish it a little. I had, you know, I looked up poetry, you know, different quotes, different things on stained, and I had already started to glue this in and tore this out, and just to get an idea of what I wanted to do. And so I decided to wait and do it on camera. I wasn't going to film this one, but then I changed my mind at the last minute. So what I had done, this was just an old background set of plans, a small set of plans, and this was some of the copy dyed paper that I had used. I might have to add more glue to that, but you get the idea. I may or may not tear this off because I'm sort of doing a double page, 3 and 4, but if they run together, that's fine with me. So I'm not tearing that off yet. This, I decided stain, you can be stained on a lot of levels, you know. It means a lot of things, and it can mean good things and bad things. And so, you know, if you stain your favorite shirt, that's not a good thing. But when we copy stain paper, we're happy, right? So this was one of the ones where it actually picked up the impression from my baking sheet. And then I went back with a bottle and I dipped it back into the coffee at a different concentration, and it made different stain marks. So as I started doing this, it occurred to me the parallels with life, and I'll try not to get too deep, but it really spoke to me. So I thought, well, maybe, you know, maybe somebody else might want to hear about it. So I decided to go with it. Oh, I actually was looking for a piece of vellum. I know I have one right here, so I'm not gonna adhere that. I wanted that muted just a little bit, and I know where a full sheet of vellum is. I just didn't want to tear one. I already had a piece, and I had it really handy, and then now it's not really handy. So you know how that goes. I think our little craft fairies come in the middle of the night and steal our stuff. What do you think? So I'm just going to, I am going to go ahead and get rid of this bottom section, mainly because I don't want to run off the page. I want some stopping point here. And got my little tearing ruler. I'm going to turn it, see if I can get kind of a semi-even tear, or at least even with the bottom of the page. But I wanted the rugged look. I wanted that tattered is what I think of too when I think of stain. Okay, well, more of that came off the bottom than I intended, but that's okay. I can always add something else here if I want to. But I wanted to peek because this page was already stained. It was probably a stencil when I used the stencil, and then I flipped it over on a paper to get the rest of the ink. So ink stained, coffee dyed. We call it coffee dyed, and it sounds good, not bad. So I love playing with my inks, and I love, you know, but it saturates deep into your papers, into your clothes, into the fabric, into your, you know, in multi-layers. So I thought that kind of replicated that, although that was darker than I wanted on my page. So, of course, I realized that by doing this, I'm going to cover up my coffee. Well, actually, no, I'm probably going to make this a flip anyway, whether it be up or down. But I want to decorate this real quick. Well, it doesn't have to be quick, but when I had torn this off, then, you know, something else presented itself. And so that's when I decided to add to this, instead of it looking more like it belonged on the decorated tag page, I wanted it to belong more on the day 3. But I liked this at the bottom here, and I'm going to glue it, and let's see, glue it on and then kind of go from there. I have something in mind, and we'll see how it comes together. You know, you ever have something that's just really spoken to you, and you really can't quite get it to come out on paper or in your collage? That actually is how I started collaging and junk journaling, and then daily journaling, creative daily journaling. But I took an interest in art journaling because there were things that, you know, words just don't express the way you want them to. And so I tried to learn to draw, and so that I could draw those things. And then, well, that was taking longer than I wanted to. I did start taking art classes and drawing classes. That was taking longer than I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to be able to express myself. So then that's when I found collage and art journal, things like that. So, you know, you can let the other artists or found objects, let them tell your story in a manner in which you use their pieces to help create your story and what you want to say. And so that's what I'm doing today. I'm not going to add a whole lot to this tag because it already has, but this little girl, these are Tim Holtz, I think they're called paper dolls. I already showed you my Tim Holtz drawer, but it exploded when I was digging through. And I think those are called paper dolls. These are called photo booth, or maybe some of these are called found relatives or something like that. Well, here's the paper dolls. Okay, there is something called found relatives, I think, that he has, but anyway, I was going through these and I found this little girl, and she immediately needed to be sitting on something, and that worked out perfectly with that. So I feel like this really wanted to be on this page. So I'm going to let her be on this page. And, you know, then I found this man, very stout and stern, and he felt like he had something to say too. So I'm going to put them on there, and this is going to be quick. This part's going to be quick because I already had some of it made. And what am I looking for? Oh, yeah. I had them right here. Oh, here they are. Let's see. The last video I did, I just put it to music because it was quick. and it was just, I think it was just my cover page or something. No, it was my resolutions page, and I just felt like maybe I would just put it to music. My husband came in the middle of me filming and started talking, so I figured that was my cue to, I had them picked out, and I have to find them. Okay. I think they're both on this page. There we go. Okay, these 2 pages. And sometimes these are, I showed you the little book of, I believe these are Tim Holtz. The stickers, the whatever. If I can find them, I know that I buy a lot of my Tim Holtz stuff at Hobby Lobby because that's what I have local. But if I can find them on Amazon, these different products, I will link them below. I don't have any affiliate links or anything like that, but if I can find them, I'll still link them. So this then really spoke to me. This little girl really just had a story to tell. And sometimes, like I said, stained can be a good thing. It can represent something beautiful, something color stained, something that is stained for the better. It just to saturate it with color. And sometimes, you know, maybe stained is a feeling. Maybe stained, like we talked about with the staining your favorite shirt, isn't a good thing because you don't want those stains there. So, but also, I don't know about you, but there have been times in my life where I have felt stained or tainted. And I think that sometimes, you know, you just need to, it represents, you know, I want it to represent both sides of this coin, I guess is what I'm saying. So that's what I'm doing. And then the second page is going to tell the rest of the story. So this is what really, I think, spoke to me with the stained. The decorated tag is just an easy way to, you know, add decoration to a page and tell a part of a story. Because it's a smaller piece, you can focus your pieces to a smaller part of your page. Nope, nope, dude, you're taller than that. There. I think I want this a little lower. I was thinking I was going to put 2 on here, but I didn't. I'm not going to. I'm going to just hold it in here with a piece of washi tape. Actually, I'm going to use masking tape. Oh, I remembered what that paper tape was called. This one, in the last video, I couldn't remember what it was called. It's called Microfor. It's like a surgical or a, you know, something you find in the first aid aisle. So if I flip that up, and then I'm going to come back whenever I find my vellum and add this little vellum window here because I want that to be muted a little bit. And, you know, just to represent, you know, the layers of stains, right? You have that and that and that. And because some stains are just on the surface and some are deep, right? But I want it to represent the good and the bad, or the good and the maybe not so good aspects of that word. Just want it to come back in and define this just a little bit. I meant to do this earlier and I didn't, and I like to outline things so that they stand out just a hair more. There we go. Let's see. Anything else we need to outline? Touch these up just a little bit. Give them some shadow maybe. There we go. Okay. And I think that's it.